Okay. So we could lock for read, or we could lock for write. Okay? Okay, let me give you an example. The command is lock table. Let's say the name of the table, let's say EMP, followed by, you could say for read or for write. For example, you could say for read, comma, another table, for example, person, and you could continue like that, okay? So you could lock a table for this here, lock the table for write, okay? Or you could say lock table for read, comma, read or write. You could use that. You could say read or like that. Okay, it means for. And so you could say lock table EMP for read or write. It means for both. Okay. It means that table is not accessible at all. So you could say read, you could say write, or you could say read or write. Okay. And it is a very simple subject. Okay. And if at the end you decide to unlock it, simply you could say unlock. Table EMP, okay, and in this case, now EMP is unlocked, okay. So you could lock it, you could unlock it, okay, and you could specify a bunch of tables if you want. For example, you could say person here and continue, okay, or using the unlock. So lock is going to lock it, unlock is going to unlock it.
Can I unlock only for read?
Well, you
Unlock
can.
for
So,
unlock for
yes, you could unlock for both of them, and after that use lock and put more restriction or less restriction if you want, okay? It's very simple command. Okay. Okay, so we discussed about that, and I think that's about it. Okay. Now you get into the object, okay? Backup. So you need to be careful about that, okay? In any company which you are working, you're going to end up with backup, right? Now, we have a variety of different backups. Let's first of all learn about the categorization of backup, okay? There are several different backup categories available. Okay, first of all, let's put it here for you. We are doing a backup. We have logical and we have physical. Okay? So logical backup, physical backup. What does that mean? Logical backup, physical backup. What does that mean? Logical backup, it means you are doing the backup based on tables, based on databases, based on fields. You're talking about logical entities, okay? Database, table. You want to back up views. You want to back up some records of your table, okay? These are called logical, okay? So there are some commands available that you could use to back up, for example, only tables or back up databases, right? This is called logical. When we're talking about physical, it means you are acting on the operating system level, in a level of operating system. Delete such and such file, back up such and such file, okay? So you are backing up a file, not table or database, or just file, okay? Now, as a result, physical backup is faster than logical backup. It's faster. Physical backup is faster. You just go and back up everything. For example, all of us know that there is the data directory in MySQL, data directory, right? We created when we were installing, do you remember? By a command, we created that data directory. In a data directory, all of our tables, all of our database, and everything are inside it there. All of them are there, right? So this is very easy for us that we just go and back up the entire directory. This is a physical backup. Back up the entire directory by any command like tar, like cpio, like backup, any kind of command that we are using for the operating system, we are able to do that, right? Okay, operating system command. Okay, you could back up your entire data directory to your own flash memory, right? And carry it somewhere else and install, right? So, physical and logical. Any questions so far? Now let's talk about another type of backup. For another type of backup, we have hot backup, we have warm backup, we have cold backup. Okay? Hot, warm, cold. Okay? When somebody asks you to do cold backup, you should know what it means. When you have somebody asking to do hot backup, you know what it means. Okay, let me tell you what they are. Okay, when you are doing the backup of your database, whatever tables or whatever, either you are doing the backup when the server is up and running. It means your MySQL is up and running, right? Or you're gonna shut down MySQL and have to do the backup, right? When you are doing a backup, when MySQL is up and running, that is called hot backup. Hot. It means MySQL is up and running and you are doing the hot backup. Okay? When you are shutting down MySQL, and after that do the backup, that is a cold backup. So cold backup is very secure because system is shut down, nobody's on the system, no corruption, nothing, okay? The integrity of your tables, your data, and everything is perfect, right? But when you're doing hot backup, you have to be careful. If at the time that you are doing the backup, somebody's writing the table, is not going to be a good backup anymore, right? Clear? So you need to be careful. When you are doing warm backup, it means system is up and running, right? System is up and running, but all of the tables or the database and so forth that you are trying to back up are locked for write. It means nobody could write into it, okay? So when you are doing warm backup, it means the system is up and running, server is on, but tables are already locked. Locked for what? Locked for write. It means nobody is able to write or modify or update any table when you're doing a backup. It's sort of safe, okay? Clear? So these are the different types of backup available. Also, we have another group of backup. Another backup here. We have full backup. We have incremental backup. Okay. So think. Doesn't matter if you're using hot or cold or whatever. Backup of everything which you have is called full backup, okay? Full backup. Backup of all tables, all databases, all, for example, log files, all, everything that you have, config files, everything, right, is called full backup. Of course, full backup is time consuming, right? So you're not able to do it very often, right? And there is no need for full backup very often, right? So normally for full backup, you're gonna have once a week, twice a week, sometimes once a month, depending on a company that you're working, right? So your supervisor will tell you that you need to do it once a month, okay? Clear? Full backup. Incremental backup, it means you are doing that incrementally. Let me tell you what it means by incrementally. Let's say I have made a backup of a database, a special database. I have one database and I have made a backup of it, right? Okay? Next time, I'm gonna do the backup of that database, but not the entire database. Only those tables which are changed, only those records which are modified, okay? Not the full, okay? So in incremental, we are only backing up those which are changed, okay? Not the whole thing. Let me give you an example. Let's say we have a database. This database is called, let's say, employee database, right? And we have a bunch of tables in it. And these are tables, different tables in that database, right? When you are doing full backup of this, it means the whole thing will be backed up, right? But in incremental, you don't have to back up all of these. Maybe only this table is modified or updated. The others are not. So there is no need that you do the backup of this and this and this and this and this always. Only do the backup of a table that is recently modified. Okay? So by incremental backup, you are only backing up those which are changed, right? But incremental backup is kind of slow. because you have to go and investigate which one is changed and do the backup for that, right? Especially if you have a large database with tons of tables, you have to go through each table and see if that table is recently modified or not. And change it and back it up, okay? Follow? In incremental backup, timing is very important. Timing, okay? So let's say if you are supposed to do the incremental backup every day at 6 p.m., you have to do it exactly at 6 p.m. If you do it in 6:05, your incremental backup won't be very accurate, okay? Because constantly you're changing, right? So you have to make sure that you're backing up exactly at 6 p.m., right? If you wait for 6:05, not a good idea, okay? So be careful about that. You have to do it exactly on time. Little bit time consuming. But these are the different categories of backup that normally we are doing, right? In my company, we have daily backup, we have weekly backup, and we have monthly backup. Okay, monthly backup is a full backup. Okay, daily is normally is incremental. Okay, whatever was done yesterday, today we continue that. Okay. I don't care if my DBA is using hot backup or cold backup or warm backup. I don't care. I need backup, right? So this is the job of a DBA to decide which one is better, right? Okay. Normally, for cold backup, you need to make sure that you create a window of maintenance and do the cold backup. For example, you could announce to everybody that tomorrow from 8 in the morning to 9 in the morning, system is down. Database is down, right? So between 8 to 9, you have reserved time to shut down the database and do the backup, right? So you need to announce it. If you don't, your customers will sue you. So in the middle of my very lucrative money-making transaction, you shut down the system. So you have to pay. Okay? Understand? Let's maybe change the atmosphere and come back again because some of you are very sleepy. Okay? Guys, I don't know if you have heard or not that Apple company is getting into the business of making cars. Okay? Of course, I knew that a long time ago, but now they are announcing, okay? They are making cars. And now imagine, when Apple makes something, that is to the perfection, right? Because this is the nature of Apple company. They make very good stuff, okay? Very good stuff. And now they're getting into cars. Somebody asked Apple people that do you planning to get into the business of driverless cars? It means cars with no driver, like the one that Google is doing, or the cars with driver, like Tesla. Apple people said, we don't think about driverless cars now. Maybe in the future we think about it. But now what we are really thinking about is cars with driver, but should be fully okay. In order to do it, they have hired lots of engineers from all over the world, not only from the United States, from all over the world, and they are still trying to hire much more, okay, to do this job. And by doing this, Tesla would be in not very good shape anymore, because currently Tesla is the only company that has the monopoly of electric car, right? And their cars are pretty expensive, you know that, right? But now, such a strong and powerful rival like Apple is coming, to this business, and as a result, these two giants will compete against each other, right? When competition arises, do you know what's going to happen? The prices should go down. And who is going to enjoy or take advantage of it? Customers, consumers, right? Like you and I, right? So watch when the battle is going to start and when the prices will go down. Tesla recently, because Tesla knew about that, okay? Recently is decided to create a smaller type of Tesla with a very low price in a range of 30,000, okay? That be affordable by many people, okay? The same as standard Tesla, but a little bit smaller and look very nice, the same look, and it's very good. But still, price is gonna go down more and more. It's very good competition, and now car competition is some companies are getting into that. Google already got that, and now Apple is getting into this field and see what's gonna happen. Okay, so let's continue that. I just want to wake you up. Let's get into the business of backup. Okay? Yes.
If the incremental backup is gonna back up just what have changed, why do we still need to the full backup?
Why do we get the full backup?
Yeah, if the incremental is just gonna have, because if nothing's changed, why do we have to back up that again?
Very, very good question. Actually, you asked me very good question. Normally, we are doing incremental backup not on entire system, only on those tables that we know. For example, we are working with on a daily basis or something like that. Not the entire system. For example, we don't go and check incremental backup on log files. We don't go and check the incremental backup for configuration files, okay? Understand? The other thing is full backup normally is made for not only for security, but also for porting. Let's say let's say today we are creating a new server. Let's call it, let's say, bronze. We had copper, we had silver, now we have bronze, right? So bronze should have the same environment as silver. What we do, we make a full backup of everything on silver and transfer it to what? To bronze. Understand?
Okay.
So full backup, put it in a tape or whatever device you have, transfer it to bronze, install. See that? So full backup is normally for porting as well, not only for security and recovery.
But if you have already the backup, you can just copy that backup you have, right?
Well, the other reason that incremental backup cannot be done on full is incremental backup is extremely time consuming because each table should be checked individually. Imagine that you have tens of thousands or thousands of databases. Each database has hundreds or thousands of tables, right? See, in incremental backup, you have to go and check each one of them to see which one is changed and do the backup, right? In full, you just do it like that, very fast. So full backup could be done much faster than incremental backup for a large system, right? Because of that, you just do incremental backup on certain tables, not in entire system. No? Yeah. Okay, so we discussed about that. Now let's talk about how to do the backup logically, okay? Logical backup is done normally by using MySQL dump. MySQL dump. This is one of the utilities of the MySQL, which is available when you are installing MySQL. It's available, okay? And you could use it. MySQL dump. MySQL dump has bunch of options which are familiar to you guys, One option is -U option for the user. The other option is -P option for the password, okay? That we have learned, right? So whenever you're using MySQL dump, make sure that you're going to use -U, -P, and if you are using a different host, -H for host, okay? And if you have provided all of these in your configuration file, my.config, my.conf, okay? So you don't have to specify -U, -P or something. Automatically it's going to go to your config file and pick it up, right? But let's talk about options that are not -U, not -P, not -H, okay? Some other option. First of all, MySQL dump is using logical backup, okay? Logical backup. In logical backup, you could back up your database or databases. You could back up individual table or all of the tables, okay? Or certain tables from certain databases and so forth, right? When you are running MySQL dump, the system is gonna back up everything that you have or whatever you want into some file which is called backup dump. Dump. We're using the word dump. Okay? Backup dump. Dump file. Dump file, it means backed up file. Okay? So MySQL creates a backup and dump it into what? Put it into the dump file. Okay? Dump. Actually, the MySQL script, if you look at a dump file, is nothing but MySQL script. It means automatically MySQL script is created. Okay? So automatically MySQL script is created. And this is your dump. And since MySQL script is created for you, whenever you run this MySQL script, it means you are doing what? Restore. Right? Following, you are doing restore. So far, so good? Yes.
So how does they gonna store the password on the script? Let's say back up a table of users. How does it gonna back up the password if you make the script for them?
How do you make it password?
Yeah, on the file. So on the file, you're gonna be able to see the password, or how are you gonna?
Why do you need that?
No.
Because you don't want anybody looks at the dump or something.
Yeah.
Well, there are several different ways to do that. First of all of the dumps should be saved or copied into very safe folder or directory. Okay, with the which normally we are using chmod 700. Only root can access that. This is one thing. The other thing is by using the there are some tools that we are using for compressing or for encrypting the dump files. Okay, so we're encrypting that, nobody could see what it is, right?
Okay.
Following, because your dump is written, is nothing but MySQL script.
So the password is gonna be the same. Okay.
I'm gonna get into that in more detail for you. Very good question.
Thank you.
Okay. So we discussed that the dump is nothing but the output of your MySQL dump command. That is nothing but MySQL script, okay? And whenever you run that script, in fact, you are restoring everything back, okay? You are restoring everything back. The other good thing about this dump is you could modify it. you could take a look at it and change it, okay? You could delete part of it. For example, you see you have backed up bunch of tables and you do not need some of them. Go to here and delete those tables. Follow me? Because you see here it says create table such and such. Okay? Let's say you want to back up a table. You're going to use MySQL dump file by name of the table, and table is backed up. Now go and look at the dump file. You see in the dump file, there is a command like this. Create table, such and such, fields are such and such, and after that, insert data to the table, right? Insert bunch of, so everything is there, right? Whenever you run your dump, that table will be created for you automatically, and data will be populated, okay? Because everything is there, okay? Now, dump, MySQL dump, when you are restoring, is not very fast because everything should be created from scratch, right? All of the tables should be created, data should be populated, everything one by one should be done, and it's here, right? Okay, now, let's go for some examples.
So, Mr. Abbas,
Yes.
so is that like a good approach if you want to restart the root password too? If you lost the root password, can you look at the dump file and get from there?
Well, dump file does not have your readable password.
Oh, okay.
Because in MySQL, no password is readable. All of the passwords are converted to
Encrypted.
45 characters junk. Do you remember I discussed
Mhm.
about that? So no way, this is the reason that we are not able to see anybody's password.
Okay.
We are able to change somebody's password, but not see. If you come back and tell me, Abbas, I lost my password, can you give it to me? I can recreate a new one for you, okay? Okay, now, okay, at the beginning of the dump, you see bunch of lines like that. At the beginning of the dump, you see bunch of comment lines. Okay, you need to know what they are. Something like this, you're gonna see that. Star 40101 set at old, for example, char length equal whatever it is, doesn't matter. You see something like that, many lines like that, okay? When you look at it, you're asking yourself, what are these? These are all comments. Why they put it there? One of the good features of MySQL is this. This line also is a comment, but it is not. It could be no. It could be non-comment too. It's a comment and non-comment. Let me tell you what. MySQL is gonna check this. This line means if we are working with the version 4.0.1, actually this, okay? If you are working with this version, then set this variable, is a MySQL variable, to this value, whatever it is, okay? So bunch of variables will be set at the MySQL. So you could see many, many lines of that. If this version, do it this way. If another version, do it that way, and so forth. So many, many variables automatically by this line will set, okay? In fact, whenever in your script you make something like that, and some version number, and your command, okay? Whenever in your script, in whatever script you have, you make something like that, this means if the version which you are using matches with this, run this command. If doesn't match, this is just a comment. Ignore it. See how nice it is? If the version that your version of your MySQL matches with this, run this command, whatever the command is. Otherwise, ignore it. This is just a comment. Very good feature. Really good feature. Okay, I really like it. So at the beginning of your dump, you're gonna see bunch of stuff like that. Okay. Now. Let me give you an example of how to create that. MySQL dump dash user of, or you could use dash u. Either one is acceptable. Equal root, suppose. Dash password equal whatever it is. X. Continue on the next line. Dash all dash.
Be .seq or can be any kind of name, the file name.
Any kind, but
Okay.
make sure that you're going to put .SQL.
Oh, so need the extension.
Yes,
that's
because
it.
this is a SQL script. This is the MySQL script, and MySQL script by convention should have .SQL at the end.
Okay.
Okay? So now you saw two formats. One is dash all databases. It means all databases which you have with everything. And the other one is using what? Using database name, only one database name, and the rest of them will do what? Your table. Okay. Before I continue, I need to tell you something. When we are using insert command to populate data, there are two types of inserts available. Okay, one is the old-fashioned insert. Okay, and the other one is called extended insert. Extended insert is available in MySQL and some modern databases, but traditional insert available all over. Let me tell you, let me give you a difference between traditional and extended, because it's very important for this job, okay? So, let's say I want to do this way. Insert into EMP values John survey, insert into EMP values Alex 19, and I'm going to do another one. Insert into EMP values, for example, David, comma 54. Let's say these are names and ages, right? This is traditional. For each row, you have to put one insert. So 3 inserts for 3 rows, right? Okay. This is not only very space consuming, got too many spaces, and it's very slow because you have to send this to the server separately. So 3 times you have to communicate with the server, right? For 3 lines. Slow and time consuming, right? The modern version, which is called extended insert, you are doing like that. Insert into EMP values John 38, comma, Alex 19, comma, David 54. It means by one line, you're doing as many inserts as you want. Okay? Which one is better? The second one. Because you are calling your database only, your server only 1 time, not 3 times. And this is only 1 line, so 3 lines. So this is preferred. But the problem is some of the old style of databases still are not accepting this version, okay? As a result, MySQL allows us to use this or that. Allows us to use traditional or the new version, okay? Default, it means if you don't mention anything, is always new version, okay? Extended version is a default. Okay, so if you don't mention anything, default is what? Extended version. Okay? Default is always extended version. Okay? Now, this is very important. For example, look at this. Look at this line. 2 tables are created inside the dump, and the data is inserted by what? Insert, right? So this is the way that data is inserted in the dump, right? See how fast it is? If it was supposed to be like that, this dump would be much longer. See how many lines you have, right? And it would be very slow when you are restoring back, okay? So, if you do not want to use this, okay, in your command, you need to use something like that. Dash dash skip dash extended dash insert. Okay? You need to use dash dash extended insert in your command. If you put this in your command, it means what? It's going to go back to traditional. Okay? Okay? It's going to go back to traditional. Default is this. Default is this. This is default. Extended insert. Dash dash. This is the default. But you don't need to specify that, because it's a default, right? It's a default. Okay. Okay.
I use dash dash extended insert in MySQL dump command. Where I should put this?
That's correct. Well, you don't need this, right? If
Yes.
you want to go back to the old, right over there.
Where? Between.
Wherever you like, right over
where
here.
are
Before this, okay?
Uh-huh.
It means in this area. Wherever you want to put it, okay?
Why would I want to do that?
Why?
Yeah.
Well, because if you are using the old version of MySQL, it doesn't support updated insert. You get error message when you want to restore. The other thing is, dump of MySQL is portable to any database. Oracle, Microsoft database, any database that is supporting SQL could use that dump. Following is not only for MySQL. Any database in the world that is supporting SQL, most of the databases supporting SQL, because they are all relations, right? You could use dump, and it's gonna work. It's perfect, right? Very often, we are doing the backup from MySQL and port it to Oracle. As simple as this, right? Okay.
Does Oracle have this issue?
Oracle, well, yes and no. Oracle 10 and above have this feature. Oracle lower than 10, no. Okay? But very easily, you could take care of it, right? By using this option. Okay? Skip over. So far, so good? Okay. So we discussed about that.
So if you wanna like optimize this one, you can put in the make the comment like that on the dump file and put if version equal, then skip.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me dump the file. Continue. Databases.
How about if I just want to back up two databases?
I'm going to show it to you.
Okay.
I'm going to show it to you in a moment. Okay? There is another way to do that. Okay? I'm going to show you. Okay. Let me give you the list of some of the very useful or often used options available. Okay? Including the one that you're asking. Okay? And after that, we're going to terminate our lecture tonight, because some of the students are extremely sleepy tonight. Okay? Dash dash lock all tables. It means when you are doing the backup, lock the tables, and when you're restoring, lock the tables, because first, we don't want some corruption happen, okay? You could use dash dash lock dash tables followed by table names, for example, A, B, C, X, Y. It means only lock these tables. Understand? Only lock these tables, not the other tables. Okay. Dash dash no data. It means you don't back up any data. It's just the table, just the database, but no data.
Empty table.
It means no insert. No insert at all.
So only the table structure?
Only the table structure, or only the database structure, not data. Only the structure will be saved. Okay, not data. Okay? Okay.
So for the log tables, do we need to add the database name?
Well, if for log table,
Yeah, log
well,
table.
eventually you have to specify database, right?
Okay,
This is
yeah.
part of the command. Because if you don't specify database, you're gonna get error messages, right?
Okay.
So database is part of a command anyway, but for locking, you need to specify this or that,
Okay.
okay? Now, you could use this dash dash databases DB1, DB2. This is the answer to your question, that if you want to back up only two databases, right? All databases gonna back up all of it. Two databases gonna back up only two databases, right? Like that, not all of it. Okay, one of the very useful features of MySQL dump is where clause. It means by you making some condition, you could do the backup. Look at that. You could say MySQL dump followed by dash u root, suppose, dash p xxx, followed by my db t1 t2, continue on the next line, dash dash where name equal do and age greater than 60, followed by dot sequence. That's a really good example. T1 and T2 tables from the MyDB database, where last name is Doe and age is what? 60. It means only those records from T1 and T2 tables will be backed up that match with what? This where clause. Following? So by using where clause, you could really control what should be backed up. Okay? This is a very, very useful feature. I
So-
really like it.
So both of these fields are in both table T1 and T2?
Exactly. For both tables, okay? If any table of, for example, if any of these tables do not match this, they won't be backed up at all.
Empty file, or they could not create the file? It's gonna create the file anyways, or it doesn't?
Well, you mean it's gonna mean this fine?
Yeah.
Well, good question. In Unix, Linux, and Mac, whenever you do like that, okay, whatever, X, Y, Z, the file will be created right away. If nothing matches, this file is empty,
Oh,
zero then. If matches happen, you're gonna have it out, okay? So, but as soon as you put this, file is created, okay? And be very careful, by the way, if you already have another dump, and by mistake you do this, the old dump right away is gone. Follow me? The old dump immediately is empty. So be very careful about that, okay? So maybe you need to do dump 1, dump 2, dump 3, or any name you choose. Doesn't
so
matter.
is that a good idea to make like script to do that
Yeah.
and check if the file exists no longer,
Yeah.
right?
Normally, the dump that I'm creating has date in it. Date dump of such and such
Oh.
date, that it tell me exactly this is created today. By looking at the dump, you could see, it's created today. Okay? okay, or last week or something. Because very often your boss is going to come to you and say, would you restore, for example, files that we created 2 months ago in such and such time and date? You have to have a backup of to restore it immediately. Yes?
Can I specify several databases with specific tables for them?
Specific table?
For them?
Isn't it a specific table?
In this case, we have only one database. If I want several databases,
Okay, so you could do that if you wanted several databases. Okay, so you could use the databases here, right? If let's
with
see,
specific tables, like here.
okay, let's. I know what you're talking about. You want database with with bunch of tables. Another database with bunch of tables and so forth, right? That doesn't exist. But we could do that very easily. Do you know how?
You?
Command line?
Well, we could run 2 commands to MySQL, but we're gonna, instead of this sign, we're gonna use this sign. Okay? So it's gonna concatenate them, put them together. Problem? Yes, it's possible.
If condition for first table is okay, it's go to dump SQL, but for second table, it's not okay.
That's correct.
So in dump that SQL, it will be result of only for one table.
That's correct. Yes. That is correct. Yeah. Yeah, guys, you are asking me a very good question. Okay. We are stopping right now here. We are in the middle of talking about backup. Okay. So, what I'm gonna do for your information is I'm gonna create the dump for our well, I'm not going to create dump of everything because I'm going to create dump of
Users.
actually dump of data directory, right? Okay, data directory. Yeah, I'm going to create dump tonight on both machines, copper and silver, because I'm afraid that some people, by mistake, late at night or something, they damage our databases or the tables or stuff, and my job is going to be much harder. Okay? Okay? So I assigned a homework for you. I will assign number 2. I'm going to correct these for you and return them back next week for you guys. Okay? You have a question? Yes?
This will be the same thing, like on the copy of the script?
For your homework assignment number 2? Okay, all I need from you guys is your source code, okay, and sample of running. When you're running for create, you're going to get output, right? Create, these. And when you delete, the same, delete. So sample of output for create and sample of output for delete user. And you have a data file I gave you. Data file has only 10 fruits in it. It's not very large, okay? So 10 for delete, 10 for create. Okay? And make sure that you're going to copy fruits from here to your home directory or wherever you're doing that and use it. Okay? Yes.
Do it?
Pardon me?
Do it?
Do is next week. Yes, next week. Next week when we get together. Okay? Because it's pretty simple. Very simple. If you have a question problem, let me know. I'm going to help you.